Hello everyone, welcome back to Nails and Sunflowers, or welcome if you're new. I am Lainey, I am a nail tech and a music teacher, and I do nail videos and vlogs for fun. So if you're into that, stay tuned, maybe consider subscribing. For today's video, I had in mind to do my nails. Now, before I get into that, there's a bit of storytelling as to why they are in this state. If you don't want to know about that, just skip to this mark of time in the video and enjoy the tutorial. Otherwise, if you want to know about it, I do my own nails myself. So for once, I thought I'm going to go somewhere where I can trust that everything is at least clean and I'm going to get a decent manicure, especially my cuticles. I am very not skilled with my left hand, my non-dominant hand. And to do my right hand, not only it takes a lot of time, but I usually butcher my nails and my skin. So I thought, at least even if the design is not perfect because I'm too picky and too much of a perfectionist, and I'm just very picky with my own nails, to be honest, I'm not gonna really care about it. I just want my cuticles to look polished and clean for once, for a month, and then I can go on doing them myself until I get another itch in my brain that I have to go do my nails. So I went to this place that I already went a year ago, and everything was very clean and sterilized, and I was happy about it, and I liked the girl. She was very nice and very polite and very kind. I repeated, I went there again, and to my surprise, it had changed a lot. She hasn't changed, she's still just as nice, just as kind, but hygiene was really lacking this time, and it was something that both shocked me and kind of made me think that I made a mistake. But at the same time, I didn't want to be this annoying client that is constantly complaining about things, or that leaves mid-appointment because she is unsatisfied with the result when she hasn't even seen the result. So I stick to it. I'm not gonna go into too much detail. I'm just gonna say pretty much nothing was clean when I arrived, as in the workstation. I'm not talking about the salon in general, as in the floors or whatnot. I know myself, I vacuum at the end of the day, so if you are my fourth client, it is likely that you will see the floors a bit more dirty than the first client. I still do it every day, but I don't do it after every client. There's just some things that I do after every client, or in between clients more like, because I feel like they interfere directly with their experience here, at the table, in the workplace, in the station, basically, the manicure station or the pedicure station. So none of that was really clean, and when I say not really clean, I mean really dirty. And besides that, none of the tools that were used on me were either disposable, I don't know about disinfected, but they were not sterilized either. This was something that really disappointed me because it's the main thing that I look for when I go get my nails done. In fact, the only place that I actually left mid-manicure was because they were using the exact same tools that they used on the client before on me. I could see that they were still dirty and still had dust and had been used right before, and that was just not okay because I'm not up for an infection or fungus. So I stood up, paid for the deposit that I had to, even though there was no deposit, as in I asked her, how much do I owe you? I know I booked an appointment and it's your time, and that costs a price. I don't want to be the one who just leaves without paying you, because it would have been as if I cancelled last minute. And being an nail tech, no, that's not okay. So unless you have an emergency, of course. So I asked her, she told me a price, I paid, and I left. So this time, that was back in the day, this time I did not do that. In hindsight, maybe I should have, but I didn't. Maybe I felt bad because she knew me and I knew her. We follow each other on Instagram, we chat sometimes, and we did chat a lot the last time I went there. And as I said, she was very nice and we had a nice conversation. So I stayed, and basically the Russian manicure I was supposed to get, I did not get. I'm not going to go into detail on the specifics about what part of the Russian manicure was done poorly or was not done or was missing, or uh, I'm not gonna get into it. There's no point, and I'm not here to roast anybody or to judge anybody or to criticize anybody. I just want to tell you the full experience so you understand where I come from to do my nails after they've been done for a week. I showed her a few pictures, quite a few pictures. I didn't have a solid idea on what I wanted because I would be happy with anything, to be honest. I showed her gradients, I showed her stickers, I showed her stamps, foils, glitters, French, a bit of everything. Even hand painted designs, which I told her beforehand that they didn't need to be hand painted, as in I showed her a few flowers, flower designs that were hand painted, and I told her if she had any stickers that were kind of similar, I would have been very happy with them as well. So she was not happy with any of the ideas. Not only that, but she showed me she was not happy with any of it, very clearly. It was really an awkward moment, at least for me, and I think for the whole experience as well, because even the girl she has training there, which was next to us doing her own nails, noticed, and she looked at me and gave me a look and the face as in, I'm sorry. So in the end, because I saw she was really uncomfortable, I said, with the ideas I was giving her, I said, okay, I'm happy with the French as well, because it's something I never do on myself for obvious reasons, because I can't paint with my left hand. So just give me a French, but just not white. Let's make it colorful. And she said, no, show me any idea you have with French. So I looked through all the pictures that I had saved, and I found one that was very cute, very spring-like, and had a few 4 or 5 nails that were French, which is what I'm wearing. She looked at them and said, okay, I'm happy with that. So, okay, cool. Mid-manicure, she asked me what kind of overlay I wanted, if I wanted rubber base or hard gel. I asked for hard gel because I only use hard gel on myself and on my clients, but I didn't tell her that. I just said I prefer gel, so let's please do gel. It's what I'm wearing as well. She did not remove much of it. In some nails, you can still see the gel polish color I was wearing on top of the gel, which means she barely removed the top coat from those nails and left the rest of it, which I think is why I have so much pocket lifting. She went after a while, she told me, she said okay to the gel, by the way, did not say that. She did, she agreed, she was like, okay, fine. And after a while, she was like, oh yeah, no, I have this new rubber base from a new brand for me that I want to try on, so I'm gonna try it on you. It left me a bit puzzled, and again, in hindsight, I should have said, sorry, no, I want gel, but yet again, I didn't want to be rude, or I didn't want to make her feel like I was telling her what to do. So I said, well, okay. It was quite clear that I was not happy with the idea, but she didn't pay much attention to it, and she just kept going. So she did a rubber base overlay, which is also why I have pocket lifting, because the structure is not right. When you use such a hard material underneath, you remove the apex of that material, and then you try to repeat that apex with a flexible or elastic material. It's not going to hold well. So I didn't say anything about it. I just thought I'm still going to be able to rock these for 2 to 3 weeks at least, so it's fine. I was wrong. We move on to design, and she starts complaining about the colors. She said she doesn't have really a pastel yellow or a pastel blue. I'm not going to go into if I think that's okay or not for someone who has had her salon open for over a year now. But I said, okay, that's fine. Just give me the lightest one you have. That's what she did. And yeah, because I didn't want to make this super long, I told her it's fine if on the French, the actual French, you don't do the designs on top. I'm fine with just having the solid French in whatever color it is, blue or yellow or white, and then the solid color nails have the design, the little flowers, the big flower, and the lines. Turns out maybe there was a miscommunication, maybe she didn't understand me, but she did big flowers on all the nails that had flowers, and she only did the lines in one of the nails. You are gonna see when I show you my hands. So I left looking at my nails thinking, okay, they don't look that bad from a distance. They kind of look cute. I can rock these. But with time, there are mistakes in application that maybe I myself can even do when I'm doing it with my left hand, that are excusable, that are okay. The thing is, I pay the price for a good quality Russian manicure with gel overlay, with decorations, and I ended up getting a poorly manicure, not Russian manicure. And when I say poorly, I mean she damaged my nails, my cuticles. She damaged my nail plate while filing because she overfiled all my sidewalls and my growth points, which is why my skin has developed hard skin on the sides of the nails, all of them, and they have been hurting quite a lot since I got them done. She did not give me a gel overlay, she gave me a rubber base overlay, and the design was nothing like what I wanted. So come to think of it, I paid full price and I tipped her as well, because she did overtime on my nails, even though I booked a manicure with decorations, but okay. So all in all, I pay the full price of what would be a good quality manicure price here where I live, and I got anything but. So a week later, that is today, I started noticing that when doing the manicure, the cuticle work, she overfiled my nail plate with the flame bit, and she used another bit that is a security bit too deep into my cuticles, and it hurt the nail plate there. It's I'll show you. She cut the cuticles, but she didn't polish the cut, which is something, if you've watched my videos, you know I really rave about that, and I really repeat myself on how important that step is. And today you are gonna see why, because she didn't do it, and it's been a week, but my cuticles have been looking like this that you'll see since day 3-4 pretty much. It is what it is. I'm not, as I said, I'm not here to judge, I'm not here to criticize, but for all nail techs out there that you may be watching this, please train yourself properly, and please don't do a technique on a client, on someone else that does not know that you are training for it, as in it's not a model or a friend or your mom or whoever it is that is letting you practice on them. Just don't do it. It's fine. We've all started somewhere. I was not doing the manicures I'm doing as of today 5 years ago, 4 years ago, or 3 years ago, or even a year ago. But I am sure that I never performed a technique, especially with the e-file, that I wasn't 100% comfortable with on someone else, unless that someone, as I said, was someone that knew I was training and that I could hurt them, damage their nails, because I have to train, and at some point your own nails are not enough. That's my message. That's what I take from my experience and what I want to share with all of you nail techs out there. May you be beginners or not, does not matter. I still have techniques to master, so this could be applied to my future self as well. And for all the clients out there that you may be going to get your nails done, please start checking for disinfectant and sterilized tools. Ask about it, don't be shy. If I was an nail tech and you were asking me about it, I would have zero problems with it, because I do it and because I know it's how it should be done. If you ask someone if they do disinfect and sterilize, or if you ask them like how they do it and they start getting defensive, in my experience, it's because they don't do it. So you should run from that place and start trying to notice how your nails and your skin react to the service. Why am I saying this? Because, as I said, from afar, from a distance, even to myself, I said to myself and to others who asked me, they look fine. They're not perfect, they look cute, and they look fine. Because they do. They look fine. The thing is, they don't feel fine. And me, because I'm a nail tech, I can see that the nail is damaged. If you're a client, I understand you're not gonna see it right away, and you're not gonna be able to detect it as easily as a professional, but you're still gonna see signs. So in this video today, while I remove this and try to do another manicure, I am gonna try and show you ways that you can actually tell and that you can actually see on your own nails if they're healthy or not, if they're being taken care of properly or not, etc, etc. But for me, your gut feeling, as in how your nails feel on yourself, if you're, as I said, my growth points hurt or hard skin starts to grow there without you changing anything on how you use your hands, those are signs already. So please stop going to places where they damage your nails and where it doesn't feel good, but it looks okay, just because they're cheap or just because they look okay. Why? Because then you are going to remove them for any reason, and you're going to see that your nails are completely wrecked, and you're going to blame the product, or you're going to make statements like I see online all the time that builder in a bottle is shit and it damages your nails, or the opposite, it strengthens your nail. There's so many wrong statements that I see from professionals do online that it actually scares me at this point. So I thought today could be more of an educational video for all of those who are not professionals and you're doing your nails, either even yourself or at home or going to a salon. So maybe we can all start taking care of our natural nails a little bit better, and the nail industry can stop having this cloud over our heads that we damage people's nails, that we ruin them, that we use materials that are toxic and harmful, and all these things that I just keep reading that are just not true. So thank you for staying to listen to me ramble for so long. That's a first. And second of all, let's roll to the actual manicure. Okay, so we start off by opening up our little pack of sterilized tools. This includes my carbide bit I'm going to use to remove the gel, my pair of scissors, the flame bit, the silicone bit, and the tiny carbide bit I'm going to use at the very end of filing under my nails. I use a base file that I do sterilize because it's metal, and then I use disposable files from Stalex that you can stick to it. When I'm doing on my hand, I usually do on a glove, and it's so it doesn't stick so much, because when you go take it off, there's always some leftovers on the base that are really hard to take off. So to avoid that, I do it on my glove one time. Now I am seasoning my hand file so I don't cut my skin, and also the orange wood stick tip. So this is what I'm dealing with right now. This is the state of my nails. As you can see, I'm trying to show you right now on my sides. This is my left hand. I have overfiled nail plate from the cuticle bit, overfiled growth points, as you can see here, especially on my ring finger and middle finger. All the sides that I'm showing you right now of my nails hurt very much, and they're all super hard skin that I'm gonna have to polish with the flame bit. And every time I push back my cuticles, there's more nail plate, damaged nail plate exposed. This is what you don't want. If the manicure itself, the Russian manicure, feels wrong or hurtful when they're using the flame bit on you as a client, that is, just tell them, because it should not, and they're applying too much pressure, and this is what happens. As you can see, I have pocket lifting everywhere, and this is the state of my middle finger on my right hand. This is a very overfiled growth point and sidewall, and it's digging into my skin. It's been digging there for 10 days now. It hurts. That's what you should not have when you go with your nails on. So middle finger and ring finger on my right hand are very bad when it comes to the cuticles, the hard skin around it, and the damaged nail plate because of the cuticle bits used. Every time I move my skin, you can see all this white that gets exposed. That's not cuticle. It's nail plate, because the angle she used the flame bit and the security bit were wrong. It was digging into my nail plate, so it made an indentation there, or however you call that. Pretty sure I said that wrong. It's pretty much damaged. That's it. So again, lifting, pocket lifting, a lot of pocket lifting everywhere, because she did not remove pretty much anything of what I was wearing. So I have kind of part of the structure of the gel I was wearing grown out, plus a rubber base overlay on top that's not really doing anything for my nails. So we're gonna start removing all of this. I'm using my favorite carbide bit by Magic Bits on blue abrasive mark at 35 rotations per minute. Yet again, as a client, you should not feel any warmth. You may feel it, and when you start to feel it, tell your nail tech, getting hot. Because that is a sign that, one, you're getting too close to a nail plate, or second of all, the carbide bit is either dull, you need to change it, or it's just too low of speed. And yeah, low. The higher the speed, the less you're gonna have to go at every area of the nail, so the less it's gonna heat up. If you use your nail bits, removal bits especially, too low on RPMs, rotations per minute, it's gonna burn, because you're gonna have to go over the same area of the nail to remove the product more times. So what you need is just a steady hand and proper training on the e-file, how to use these bits at this rotations per minute, so you don't overfile or hit the natural nail. If they do hit it, you're gonna see a red indentation. Again, that word, why am I saying that? Oh, sorry. A red spot, okay, on your nail, wherever it is, wherever it got hot. If you have a red area there, that's because they hit your natural nail. So again, just communicate with your nail tech. It happens to me as well. Some days, some clients are more sensitive, or I don't know, the product is removing faster than usual because of X reasons. So yeah, sometimes it happens. They just tell me right away, oh, it's getting a bit hot, and I stop. And I move to another area, and if there's still product to remove in the previous one, then I go back to it after a bit. Just to let it cool off, that's it. You never want to hit the natural nail with your carbide bit, especially with your carbide bit. This is probably the worst thing to do when getting a manicure, and this is why so many people have bad experiences with it and then develop a fear of the e-file and think that the e-file actually damages your nails. It's not the e-file, babes, it's not the e-file, it's whoever's holding it that's damaging your nails. Okay, so yeah, basically that's the drill. We're pun intended, we are removing all of it. I do have some red spots, but I am not entirely sure if I made those the last time I was removing my old set, because I was doing it quite fast, I was in a rush, or if she did it, so I'm not gonna blame anybody here. I have red spots. That means natural nail was hit, I don't know by who, it doesn't matter. You don't want that, okay? That's the point, you don't want that. So we're just making this very thin, almost up to the rubber base, Prebase actually, that I used before the gel. And now you're gonna see me do it with my left hand. It's so gracefully. Excuse me if you can hear my tummy, by the way, I'm kind of hungry. So yeah, no, doing it with my left hand, this is why I want to find someone to do my nails properly, because it's so just wrong. Look at it. Anyway, I'm not going to show you much of that. Changing to the flame bed, that's blue and red abrasive mark. With my orange wood stick, I am first going to push back and lift up my cuticles. She did not do this, by the way. She straight up went in with the flame bit, which I think is why she had to apply so much pressure on my nails and why she damaged them. You always want to do this, and if your nail tech is straight up going with a bit, unless you have really like cuticles that really stick to your nail plate, then that's different. They should not go in with the flame bit. They should go in with another bit to separate the skin from the nail plate. Still, none of this should hurt at any point. But yeah, after that, you always want to lift the cuticles up. If they're not doing it, anyway, baby powder to remove all the moist. Some people don't do this. I do it because it really helps with all types of skin types, and especially with mine. So as you're gonna see, this is real speed. Up until now it was all sped up, but right now this is real speed, and I'm showing you just so you see how I deal with the hard skin on the sides of the nails and how I deal with how to remove that damaged white nail plate next to the cuticle that is not cuticle, because you really want to remove this very carefully. You don't want to dig into it again. As you can see, the angle here, this is the right angle to use the flame bit. You don't want it let's say perpendicular to your nail plate, because that's when you dig in, and that's what the lady that did my nails last time did wrong, and why I have damage now. So yeah, just on this nail specifically, my the hard skin on the sides was really bad, and it was hurting a lot. I also have more dents on my nail bed than I anticipated. Even so, the color, I had yellow here, the color was really like inside those dents on my nail plate. It was kind of painful to remove, I'm not gonna lie. Same for the ring finger, and you're gonna see after on my right hand, it did take me quite a while to remove properly, and in fact I was hurting myself. Also on my thumbs, you are gonna see it. But yeah, long story short, just trying to be very gentle. As I said, none of this should hurt. It might be a bit sensitive in some areas, in some specific fingers, like your ring finger, your pinky, or even your thumb. Those are the most sensitive. You may feel some tingling, but it should never be proper painful. No. If it is, just tell your nail tech to stop, because something's not right. Not necessarily she's doing something wrong, but maybe the bit is dull and she's having to go over and over the same area, and it starts to hurt because she's actually digging into your skin and she hasn't realized. That can also happen. Just communicate again. Tell your nail tech, this is happening, we need to fix it because it's not right. Here with my thumb, as you're watching, it was hurting. As you can see, I had lifting on my left side wall because my growth point was overfiled, and I'm not opening up the pores of the nail with the hand file anymore because it's too much of an abrasive thing. So I'm doing it with the flame bit these days, which is working wonders for me. It does not damage the nail. It's super soft, super gentle, but it was hurting. Even this super soft, super gentle thing was hurting me. So I had to stop a few times or change areas, and this is gonna happen on a few fingers. You're gonna see I'm like shaking my hand every now and then. That's because, yeah, it was quite sensitive. Yeah, after that we move on to reverse and we go on the other side of the sidewalls. This is also very important. You want forward for the left side walls and reverse for the right side walls. You do not want, your nail tech should not be doing all your cuticle on forward or on reverse. That's just not how it works. It's gonna damage your skin and your nail plate. Moving on to the cut, these are the scissors, and I'm just cutting off all the white dead skin. Now, this is where a lot of people also have a fear of how they cut their cuticles. First fear is infections, And I understand that fear, because if tools are not disinfected and sterilized, you could very much get an infection anywhere. Which is why I got very annoyed when that happened to me. So always check. This is why I say you should not ask for your cuticles not to be cut right away. Just ask if the tools are disinfected and sterilized, and check for yourself. The bags have an indicator that it shows if the tools inside are sterilized or not. Just check for that, or ask your nail tech yet again. If the nail tech is like refusing to show you or gets defensive, then run from that place. But if not, they should just show you and it should be fine. In any case, you don't want to overcut anybody. You don't want to make them bleed. Also because it's painful, not just because of infections. So the fear is yet again with a wrong not wrong training, like a wrong applied technique, not with the technique itself. The Russian manicure, or cutting the cuticles in any other kind of manicure, should not be painful and should not be making you bleed. If it does, then it's not applied properly. So don't go back to it. Don't go back to the place. That's it. Moving on to polishing the cut. This is so important to avoid all the hard skin and the hangnails that I had in the beginning of the tutorial. You want to polish the cut. There's no way around it. You need to, if you want your skin to be smooth and soft up until your next manicure. Obviously, the cuticles is gonna grow back. If you keep on doing Russian manicures, it's gonna grow less, by the way, but that's another subject. The thing is, it's gonna grow back. So what you don't want is what I had, which is all this white, dry skin, even though I used cuticle oil and hand cream every day, because that's a result of not polishing the cut you just did. Both with the flame bit at 6,000 rotations per minute, and then you can see I'm gonna move on to the silicone bit at 7,000 rotations per minute, which you don't want them to hit your nail blade with this bit. Anyway, moving on. I applied some water with some spray, and with a baby wipe, I am cleaning off all the dust from everywhere. The station, my hand, just all of it. And because I am doing both of my nails myself, I moved on to doing all of this on my right hand. So yeah, I'm pushing back the cuticles however I can, because it's very hard. And I think I am gonna show you, I think the footage of my middle finger and ring finger is in real speed, because I wanted you to see how I dealt with that much of a damaged nail blade. Yeah, so this is it. We zoomed in a little bit, and I'm gonna show you how I go on forward. I'm not sure about the reverse, but yeah, you get the gist. This growth point was really overfiled. It was the one that was digging into my skin, so it was really painful to do this, but it was the only way to let my nail bed heal. I need to put on a gel, otherwise my nail is gonna break in one day. And as you can see, I'm kind of shaking my hand. It's just, it hurts on that very spot that I'm showing you right now. It really hurts. So yeah, just be very gentle. It might be very sensitive if this has happened to you and you're going to a nail tech that knows what they're doing and they're trying to fix it like I'm doing here. This might be a bit painful, or might hurt a bit. It might be sensitive, but it should not feel anything like when you had it done and it was actually painful, which was the experience I had. So yeah, just gently trying to remove all this white nail bed exposed. That is just layers of nail plate, sorry. And just trying to remove it so the nail plate is clean, to apply product on top and let it grow out and heal. this is how my nails are looking now, much cleaner. And I'm gonna use some cleanser. This is nails of the day, as always. Oh, and I'm just gonna, let's say, dehydrate all my nails generally, and then with the orange wood stick under my nails. So now for application, first of all, I am gonna apply some non-acid or acid-free primer, Ultra Bond, whatever it's called, on the lifted areas that I had. And I'm gonna use this rubber base by touch, and I'm not gonna rub it in as I was doing before. I'm just gonna apply it as if I was applying a color layer gel polish. Not too thick, not too thin, just a nice coat, healthy coat all over the nail, especially on those areas that had lifting or that have been overfiled, because this is gonna be what's gonna make the gel bounce in case I hit my nails with the overlay. If I were not to apply this and just apply the gel, first of all, it would have no adhesion, and second of all, it would actually break my nails before the gel breaks, which is exactly what you don't want. So now I am removing the inhibition layer from both. I did leave my table after this, that's why I did it, but in any case I would have done it regardless before applying the gel, because the gels I'm going to be using are not all from the same brand, Touch, and because I prefer working without the inhibition layer. So for my thumb, we're going to do colorful today, Easter nails. For my thumb, we're going with this really gorgeous pastel yellow from Luna Moon. I really love it, and this liquid acrygel thing, I'm digging it. Yep, it looks very nice. It's very subtle, it's not an opaque consistency at all, but as long as you know that. Also, it's not all of them. I have quite a few that are opaque, but then I have these others, like the two that I'm going to use today, that are really not. It just depends on the looks you're going for. As long as you have it on your palette exactly as it's going to show on the nail, and the clients actually see it properly, how it's actually going to show on their nails, I say you're good. This one's especially, I can't talk today, for my index finger, it came out a bit more pink than I would want it to, but it's because my nails are very pink. So it is quite an orangey tone when you see it on the palette, but because it's quite see-through, transparent, it does come out a bit more pinky or peachy than actually orange. Just warn your clients, tell them, and before curing it, let them see it and ask them if they're happy with it. Now for the middle finger, we are going to use Touch. This is one of their builder gels that I also really like. It was quite thick in winter when I got it. Now it's not so thick. I can tell it's getting harder, you guys. My gels are a lot runnier than usual, which blew my mind the other day. I wasn't aware that it was so hot. Like, I think it's slowly coming, but I hadn't really realized. So yeah, it's getting warmer here. And I actually prefer this consistency. I really like when they're thicker to fix certain things, but for a normal overlay where, as you were saying, I don't really have to fix anything except for that overfiled growth point on my middle finger on my right hand. The rest of them is just a normal overlay, so I prefer them to be a bit more runny. Not as runny though as this frame gel from Hey Love. This was just the perfect consistency in winter when it was cold. Right now, it's a runny mess. It's fine, I can work with it, but just be aware. If you like thicker gels, I would not recommend this one. As for adhesion and colors and anything else about this gel, I love it. I absolutely love it. So you might be wondering also, why am I doing milky on my ring finger and pinky? Well, because I am going to use a base to apply the color blue and mint color, but that goes over the gel. First, I want my structure to be applied with the gel, so I'm using a milky so the pastel colors really shine through. And now I'm repeating the same process on my right hand very gracefully, as you can see. So awkward. Anyway, after that, oh yeah, no, I'm showing you how I fixed my middle finger. Yeah, I did first the overlay. I never do it like this, but I don't know. I was feeling odd that day, I suppose. I did the overlay and then I fixed the side with the same gel, just flash curing in between and adding a bit more on that side until I was happy with it. Because we are gonna file it with our hand file, and then we're gonna go under the nail with the tiny carbide bit you saw at the beginning of the tutorial. So for my hand filing technique, there's nothing new here, nothing I changed from any other video that you may have watched or not. It's just my regular shaping and then looking at my nail from every angle possible to make sure that the structure is right, that the side walls are right, and yeah. So we move on to design, and I'm first gonna apply the color that I was telling you about. It's two bases from Semilac, and I'm gonna apply them with the actual pot and then with this liner brush, sorry, number 11 from DNKA. So what I do when I use bases on top of gel is basically just apply a thin layer and then a tiny bit of a thicker one without actually doing a full overlay like I did before. Why I do this? Because I do not want to use just base for the overlays anymore. It's too acid and too soft of a product. That's it. So because those two nails I didn't file, I applied the color on top of the gel, I don't need to do this. But for the other three that I did hand file, I'm using the same rubber paste just to get rid of those lines the file may have done. So the design I paint on top is actually going to be smooth. So I did these flowers with the white acrylic marker that I bought from Amazon. This was the first time that I'm trying them on, I think. Properly anyway. And I really like them. It gives the design a sort of hand-painted look, as in a canvas. It's not actually a nail. And I really, really like it because I was going for Easter eggs that you actually paint yourself. So I felt like this was perfect for it. I did these white flowers with an orange center. I'm using this top crystal or crystal top from Lunamoon for the first time as well. It's really runny, really runny. But I'm gonna wear it and see how it holds on. Now for my thumb, I'm grabbing the pink acrylic marker. Again, these are from Amazon. They're gonna be linked down below, as always. I didn't know what I was going for. I wanted to like cover the whole nail, but I wasn't sure. Then I almost removed it, but then I thought it's okay. Like I grew on the design a little bit as time went by. For my index, I grabbed this yellow and did the typical, I would say, in yellow and white, the typical Easter egg design with the lines and the dots. I think the dots I grabbed the orange one, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I did. You really need to shake the markers, by the way, and then apply a bit of pressure, you see here on the tip, so that the color actually comes through the first time, that is. For the middle finger, I'm gonna use the green and then some blue just to make some dots. For this, I wouldn't necessarily need the markers because they look exactly the same as if I painted them with a dotting tool and gel. But because I wanted to use the same colors, I used the markers. And for my pinky, same thing. I did tiny dots in pink, yellow, and white. These were all over the nail, not just on the ring, let's say, of the nail, the outside ring, and just everywhere, tiny dots. And now again, with the crystal top from Lunamoon, I like it, but it's just really runny. If you don't like that texture, again, don't use it. Yeah, it's harder, but I feel like this top would not be much thicker in winter either. It's just thin, you know? So if you want to encapsulate the design and you need a thicker top coat, don't use this one. Now I'm gonna use this Alicia, I don't know the name. It's just dots, black dots that look exactly like Easter eggs to me, at least to me, because on my right hand I was not gonna paint what I painted on my left. It was just not gonna happen, you guys. I can't. It's gonna look terrible, I'm gonna hate myself, so I decided to do the same colors, obviously, but with black dots. And now this is final filing. I did not need to go under the nails with the carbide bead again. So just hand file, making sure that the tips are nice, that the shape is nice, and that my sidewalls look okay. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And here you have the finished result. I really like them. I really hope you found this video interesting and you learned something from it. I learned from this experience a lot. And yeah, I hope you liked it and you enjoyed it. And I'm gonna see you on the next one. Bye! Really? Okay. Excuse me, because I don't know how to work with a mic. God. Perhaps I should. Yes. I was saying, no. How was it?